Back home, the Eastern Cape Parks and Tourism Agency is holding its game auction for 2023, selling, among others, kudu, zebra, wildebeest, and also one buffalo. The huge bovine fish, the best price of the day at 130,000 rand. The annual auction is part of the Eastern Cape Parks Wildlife Management Program. The Parks Board also reinvests the proceeds of the auction into its nature reserves. Eastern Cape Parks is also continuing with its participation in the WWF South Africa's Black Rhino range expansion project. This year, it is committing 30 black rhinos to the project, which aims to maximize black rhino populations by placing these animals in new areas where there is potential for growth. SABC News reporter Lubabalo Dada has more for us.
A very good day. We're coming to you from Mpekweni Resort outside Pedi in the Eastern Cape, where the Eastern Cape Parks and Tourism Agency is hosting a game auction. There's about 130 wild animals that are up for sale today. But to talk to us more on this, I do have the CEO of the Eastern Cape Parks and Tourism, Mr. Vuyani Daimani, to tell us about the significance and why are we here today. Sir, thank you very much for your time. We understand that there's wild animals that are for sale. Talk to us about why are you selling these animals, which animals that are for sale.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much for hosting us today. One of the things that we have done over the years as part of our control of the animals in our protected areas, we remove animals. And when we do the removals of these animals, we consider all considerations like from overpopulation, overgrazing, and the animals that are available today are 130 animals that we'll be selling. 20 of those are buffaloes, beautiful animals, nice bulls that are available here. And the importance of this biological control in terms of management of our protected areas is that we want to ensure that we keep our animals in good nick, mitigating climate change drought, but you must also have good numbers in terms of ensuring that future generations are able to have sight of what our beautiful province and our beautiful country has. And importantly for us, as part of the proceeds of the sale, whilst we invest the money back into our protected areas, we also appreciate the fact that our neighbors, the communities, are the custodians of these protected areas. They are partners with us in terms of the management of the protected areas. So 2.4% of the proceeds of whatever that will generate here is plowed back to communities. And this we do in the form of community bursaries and to ensure that as ambassadors of the future in our protected areas, we've got young people who can not just to know about environment and biodiversity, but they become the custodians and the managers of the future of these protected areas.
All right, talk to us about who is able to buy these animals. What's the criteria that you are using in terms of selling these animals?
Obviously, confined with the current legislation in terms of the PFMA, we sell these animals to people who could buy, those who can afford. But not only in terms of our agenda for transformation, whilst we are looking for people who are able to buy bucks, but we also consider the fact that as part of a transformation initiative, a certain category of animals is put available to be donated in a custodianship to communities. And this we do as part of routine. While we are putting 130 animals for sale today, there's a category of animals that we have put aside for transformation so that we can allow and encourage previously disadvantaged individuals, including community, individuals, communities around our protected areas, to be owners of the game. So we do that. So it's a separate process of the transformation. And to date, around that one, we've established 8 sites in the province where originally those individuals would not have even proof of what we deem in the conservation space as a license to own an animal, which is the certificate of adequate enclosure. If you now go in our sites, you'll find that there are 8 historically black people in the province who do not have ownership of animals and game. And with that particular process, we've disbursed to date in excess of 500 animals to previously disadvantaged individuals. They own that game and it's doing well. But today it's about the sale. We want the money so that we are able to invest it back to the protected areas. But at the same time, a portion of that, which is 2.4%, is invested to community initiatives. We're targeting bursaries with the view of having ambassador of conservation and biodiversity of the future.
We know that the wildlife industry is a business, and you've been speaking about the inclusion of the previously disadvantaged communities in this sector. Can you tell us in terms of what are you doing as the sector in terms of empowering those people when they get into this industry? Because it's not easy to get into this industry, firstly, because it's quite expensive, and then when they get it, what you do in terms of making sure that they remain and actively participate in this industry?
So that's a two-part question. The first one is that we appreciate that people might own the land, and in some instances they may have long leases. So we encourage them when they have that. Part of the criteria of ensuring that they are able to participate in our transformation initiative will be going back to their land parcels to do an audit, so that we are able to assist them with the identification of the suitable game that will fit the habitats they have. Because one of the things, as you have mentioned, it will be an anomaly if you are going to want animals, which is wildlife, in a protected area, and then you still buy game. It will be an overhead and an overcapitalization that you will not afford, especially from a PDI point of view. So what we encourage is that they must roam in the wild as naturally as it could be. So what we do is to go to the habitat, assess what game could be suitable for that, so that we are recommending what you could, benefit from a transformation point of view. It becomes game that naturally grows in that particular area without the PDI having to incur additional cost of lucerne and other things.